opportunities or the trend or behavior that you will be able to identify on the calls that we will be listening to.
Alright, so we have Pamela have the trending performance of the agent. I handled the agent January, mid of January. So prior to that, this agent has been identified as one of those agents who's not consistently hitting the IOCR performance. So she's technically under the care team, and we started off with a care performance of January. Pamela ended with 25, and then a 3% improvement for February. And right now we are currently working on a March, which we only have like 9 days of performance for IOCR. FY, his March performance started with week 1 with 32%, and then her week 2 performance is down to 21.95%.
Okay.
And then Pamela also had challenges with IBOC 4.90 on January, 3.67 and 3.50 running for the March. March performance, we had only 2 samples. And then as for the sales, we've seen an increase since we were doing some action plans on a sales, so running at 96.15 for the month of March. Transfer and conference starting to improve little by little, where we're trying to get that ownership on her calls. So 32, 32, 29, and then 31, 61. So overall, the main focus behavior that I'm working with the rep is IOCR, which we also touch base my BOC part.
So your focus metric is IUCR.
Yep.
Okay. All right, and what are the 3 most impactful behaviors that you've identified for the agent?
Alright, so pretty much this is the 3 factors affecting her performance. So we have the gain clear understanding of the issue through clarifying questions.
Okay.
Second step will be tools utilization, specifically TS, troubleshooting steps.
Okay.
And then of course we had sound confident. Those 3 behaviors were identified really affecting the IOCR performance, because all these 3 focus more on the resolution piece of the call. Action plan, we have come up with, well, Pamela was identified with having trouble with, really with the process and everything. History of the agent, this is an agent being transferred one department to another, so she's kind of fresh with T-Mobile back. So as for gain clear understanding of the issue, so simple, cure it with just use open-ended questions, get more information. And then of course, if you heard the inquiry, you may want to use close-ended question to confirm the understanding. Additional action plan we've been doing since identified through skills is to be more familiarized with stops and calls. So increased number of calls or scenarios they had to listen to, and of course apply the ring around the role play. Fix the skill part. Same goes with the tools utilization. So pretty much we've been getting some call types. It's always the same. It's once in a blue moon we get a different call type. So to also work on her CRT and the efficiency on the call. So advise them to bookmark frequently used documents for easy access. And then refrain from blind troubleshooting steps. When I mean blind troubleshooting step, she has this habit of skipping one step to another, which again will be checked by verbalizing the steps indicated in the TCOM under the TS policy. So the way I measured if she's really using the document is I need her to verbalize the steps that she's doing. And then we're also doing TCOM drill.
Okay.
And then the last part will be sound confident. I advise her or coach her in terms of just use those power words or statements, incorporate it to the delivery of resolution. Such as, absolutely, I'm positive on this, you have nothing to worry about. And personalized delivery. When she asks me how to do things with personalized delivery, simple. You're just talking to your friend. And then ring around the role play to instill the action plan that we have.
Okay.
We had 4 calls.
Okay, so basically we will be listening first to 4 calls of that agent for us to check if those behaviors are the ones affecting the numbers or the performance of the agent.
Let me start with a 5-minute call.
Yes. Thank you for calling T-Mobile. This is Pamela. May I help you today?
Hi, yes. For some reason, my fingerprint is not unlocking my Galaxy S7. What do I do? Does it lock me out my phone for 30 minutes?
I'm so sorry, then.
Are we good to the call?
Yep.
Okay, let's start again.
Thank you for calling T-Mobile. This is Pamela. May I help you today?
Hi, yes. For some reason, my fingerprint is not unlocking my Galaxy S7. What do I do? Does it lock me out my phone for 30 minutes?
I'm so sorry, then. For the Galaxy S7, it's locking you up, ma'am, every 7 minutes?
No, it locks. I tried to use my fingerprint to unlock the phone, and it's saying that the fingerprint doesn't match, and now it locks me out of the phone for 30 minutes.
Oh, I see. I'm so sorry for that, ma'am. But before anything else, can I ask for your first and last name?
What was the password?
And Melissa, can I ask for the security password?
2876.
Okay, thank you so much for the information. Hold on, please. And are we working on the telephone number 0073?
Yeah.
Okay. Just verify that. Hold on. Okay, for us to be able to see option for the for the security fingerprint to work now, I would be connecting your call to one of our technical departments.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am? Yes, Rebecca, you need to connect your call. Go ahead, sorry.
I didn't say anything. I said thank you.
Okay, no worries, ma'am. So aside from this, will there be anything else before I connect your call?
No.
Okay, so stay in the line. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Hold on.
All that extra shit. I'm gonna try to respond. He said,
That's a 5-minute call, right? More than 5.
Recorded for quality and training purposes. Due to high call volumes, you may experience longer than usual hold times before reaching a representative. We appreciate your patience. You can now manage your account and easily pay your bill from your T-Mobile phone. Download the new T-Mobile app from your app store to get started. Thank you for calling T-Mobile. All of our representatives are currently assisting other customers. Please remain on the line and your call will be answered in the order in which it was received.
Alright, so that's for the first call. The call was routed to
Yes.
support. And here's our second call.
T-Mobile to this step. Thank you for calling T-Mobile to this step. May I help you today?
yes, hi. I'm calling because, I know I have a home line account. I don't know if it's till today or tomorrow.
Okay, I'll be more than willing to check your account for you, ma'am. May I have your first and last name?
Sarah Champagne.
Okay, thank you so much, Sarah. Hold on, please.
Okay.
I'll be checking your account. Sharon, is this going to be, I'm so sorry, you couldn't breaking in and out earlier. Is this going to be with your bill? Past due bill?
Right, I had a whole money account. I think it was for today or tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. And would you like to put another hold on it for another 10 days?
Right, you can do that. I would appreciate that. Whatever you can do, I do appreciate it.
Okay. Not to worry, ma'am. Let me go ahead and check the account further. One moment, please.
Okay.
Delinquent, hold on.
I made a $50 payment like 2 days ago.
Okay, that's wonderful, ma'am. Hold on. Let me just work on this.
Sure.
Okay, give me 1 moment, please.
Thank you.
Also, hold. Just 1 moment, please.
Okay.
You're welcome. I'm so sorry, ma'am, if it's taking me too long. I'm trying to see options for this because the extension for another 10 days is not allowing us since you do have an existing one. And when I try to set you up for a payment extension, it's not also allowing me to do so. So it's the best thing that I can do, ma'am, for us to be able to have this extended, I will need to connect your call to our financial care department, one of our account specialists.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate your help.
You're welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much. Sorry for the inconvenience. Hold on, please.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you one question. The current hold I have, is that what stage that for the current hold I have?
Actually, it is for 2 days from now, ma'am. So today and up until tomorrow, or up until tomorrow. I'm so sorry.
Tomorrow at what time?
Usually, ma'am, it's around midnight.
Oh, so midnight tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you, please. Thank you.
Okay, let me go ahead and connect your call. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Hold on.
Recorded for quality and training purposes.
Alright, so that's the second call. We are down to the third call. Third call.
Thank you for calling T-Mobile. This is Pamela. May I help you today?
Yeah, I'm trying to find out where my phone is. My phone was stolen, and we paid the deductible for the insurance to have a new one sent out. So I'm just trying to track it, find out where it is, and I can't seem to do that online.
Oh, I see. I'm just sorry to hear that, sir. Let me go ahead and check the account and check the whereabouts of the device. May I have your first and last name?
Yes, Jonathan Middle,
Thank you so much, Jonathan. And what telephone number are we working on?
267
Mm-hmm.
844 9278. Last four of the account social is 6228.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for the information. 9278. Did you file an insurance claim for this, sir? For the loss or stolen? Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if there is any updates coming from the insurance. Hold on, sir. There's one here. One moment. because it does show here that there is already a tracking number. Now, here's what we need to do, sir. I will need to connect your call to the insurance company for us to be able to track the whereabouts of the device.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay? So can you bear with me? Or sir, if you like, I could also provide you their direct number. Just in case that you need to call them, you can call them directly. Do you have a pen and paper right now, sir?
Give me a second.
Mm-hmm. Just in case that they would be asking you to call them back.
Okay, yeah. What's the number?
Yes, sir. The direct number is 866. Another 866
866
6285.
6285.
85.
Okay.
Okay, so let me go ahead and connect your call. Thank you so much, and have a good day, okay? Stay in the line, please.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome to Assurance Solutions, administrator of T-Mobile's device.
3 of 3. Right? Okay, let's listen to one more. So basically, after the fourth call, let's review first what happened to those calls, and let's go back to the behaviors that Brian was able to identify for the record. Okay?
T-Mobile, this is Pamela. May I help you today?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Okay, let me select the first one. The fourth one.
Hope it's not a transfer.
100% transfer. Let's see, assure maybe activations.
Full of questions.
Thank you for calling T-Mobile. This is Pamela. May I help you today?
Hello there. My name is Benjamin Guerra, and I was calling because I wanted to. I called the other day because I wanted to change one of the line's phone number
Mm-hmm.
and have my mother-in-law's phone number ported over from AT&T.
Okay, let me go ahead and pull up the account, sir. Hold on. Okay, very good. So let me pull up the account, Benjamin. Hold on a moment, please.
All right.
I'll be skipping some seconds, but the agent had a whole time.
Okay. So it's dead air, I think.
Yep.
How many minutes?
We got from 53.
Excuse me.
And for the line, sir, which is, hold on. The telephone number that you ported in from AT&T to T-Mobile?
That's the one that I'd like to have it ported over.
Oh, okay. Hold on, sir. What is your mother's telephone number, sir?
Let's see here. Let me check. I'm still getting used to this phone. One sec here. I'm trying to go to my call log, but I can't seem to find it with my, while I'm on the phone.
Oh, I see. Okay, no worries, sir. Just in case that the call will be disconnected, I'll be calling you back on this number, 818-510-1625.
Yes, that's fine. You think I could just check and write it down real quick, and then you can call me back?
Oh, no worries, sir.
Can we do that?
Yes, sir. I'll call you back within to this or within 1 minute, sir? Or
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect.
okay, no worries about it, sir. So kindly expect a call coming from me, okay? Thank you so much as well.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Alright, that's the end of the fourth call.
Is there a callback?
It looks like
We can probably review the account and then let's check the agent did call back. So basically, those random calls were calls from yesterday up until today. So those were really recent calls. So let's review the behaviors that Brian identified for the agent. So first behavior is asking clarifying question or understanding of issue by asking clarifying question, right? Second is tools utilization specifically for troubleshooting. And then third is sounding confident. Okay, all right. So I wanna. So what's gonna happen is let's review it first because I want you guys, everyone, who's going to present, to be prepared before the actual coaching session. So let's do that first. So let's discuss the call, and then afterwards, we'll pull out the agent if you already came up with, the behavior that we're gonna be working out with the agent, as well as the action plan that's gonna best suit the agent for us to see improvement. Want to hear your thoughts about the calls that we've just listened. So, did Brian captured all the exact behaviors that's impacting the performance of the agent? Want to hear your thoughts, Ina? Let's do a roll call.
Okay, based on the four calls that we listened today, I noticed that yes, DM Brian is correct. Gaining clear understanding of issue through clarifying question. Because based what I heard is the agent assumed that, for example, the first call, troubleshooting, agent could have asked more questions. To gain the clear understanding of the issue. The customer said that she got locked out in her Samsung Galaxy S7. The agent could have asked more, so she could check. So she could lead to the right resolution. So she could tools utilization is also the the behavior that I observed.
Okay. All right. How about you, Darren?
Well, I can definitely agree with the first two behavior, though the third one is something that actually did not transcribe in the four calls that we've listened. Sounding confident, because even when the representative is trying to connect the customer over to other department, they are actually thanking her. I mean, for the time that she spent, and it's as if she sounded confident enough that they are really the ones that will be able to resolve the concern, which is actually something that is a skill to make the customer feel that, hey, you should believe to what I say because I'm the expert. So that's something that we may also have to look into. But overall, the gaining or understanding the issue through probing question and then tools utilization specifically for troubleshooting is definitely very evident, because if she could have probed more, she could have owned the call and resolved the call herself without even transferring, which I believe one of the metrics that she has to work into. She's around 30%.
26 now.
26 now. Alright. So an improvement, right? Which may also lead to her IOCR reasons why it's not hitting the target. So, but basically, again, the two behaviors are captured during this four calls that we've listened.
Okay. Thank you, Daryl. How about you, Jean?
Based on what I have heard, Sir Brian is correct regarding with the two behaviors. Gaining clarification and utilization of tools, because what I heard regarding with the like the first call and the third call, regarding with the first call, the phone is locked. What Ina said is the agent can and the agent can ask more questions to clarify or gain or to understood what's the main concern of the customer, but instead she just transfer it to technical care without performing any basic troubleshooting. And regarding with the third call, when the customer said that I just want to check the phone, the agent asked if she filed the claim, and the customer said yes. However, the main concern is the customer wants to track the phone if he or the customer can still find it. However, she transferred it to assurance department.
Okay.
So that's it.
Okay. For me, I'm very concerned for the agent, especially that we're promoting culture of ownership. And based on the 4 calls that we've listened to, there are no ownership on those calls. So I'm very concerned because basically, though the agent's transfer rate is it 26% right now?
She
Can
gained
you
improvement. She's on 32, trending down.
Okay, trending down, but basically it's a good improvement. But if we're gonna be, based on the calls that we've listened to, she is still really not owning the calls. So that's something that we will really have to work on with the agent. On top of that, I agree, you captured the right behavior, which is, I'm not really sure if the agent is understanding the issue of the customer. So basically, if she did not understand, so she needs to ask probing question for her to understand the issue, right? And then that's the time she can utilize the right tools to be able to use to resolve the issue. So I agree with your behavior. So very concerning. Let's came up with the plan because I think that we need to really create a smart sale action plan out of this agent, because as you can see, you've already coached the agent about that, but still the agent is really not exhibiting the right behaviors on the calls. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
Right. So this is a good session for us because we will be able to discuss and think of an action plan that would work best for the agent. So yeah, sure, go ahead.
In addition for that, I noticed that she just repeat what the customer said.
Right.
She can paraphrase instead
Right.
of doing like parody.
Right.
And the only reason why I said, the sound confident part, if you will notice, every time that she just going to transfer, that's the time the inflection of the
Right.
tone.
I agree.
But initially, every time from first up until the 75% of the call, she's totally not on let's say on a mood of really making sure that the customer will.
I agree, because there are dead airs in between wherein the agent, we're not sure if what she's doing on those period. So basically that tells us that basically this agent probably did not understand, or she's not really confident in resolving. Right. One more thing that I want to address as well on those calls that we've listened to is that the behavior of our agent to wait for the next representative to answer the call for transfer, which is, do you have the data for the whole time of that agent?
No, okay, bye.
Okay, so let's check the whole time, but I can assure you that the whole time of this agent is huge. Why? Because if you are waiting for the next rep to answer the call, which is supposed to be just transferred cold transferred, so tendency of the hold is to increase. So that's one of the behavior that we need to really fix with our agents, because why are they staying on the line to wait for the next representative, right? So that's something that we have to also address, especially for our tenured agents, because I know some of their reasons is they're afraid that their IUCR would get hit if they will not connect it to our live representative, right? But we all know that that's a myth, right? We all have the access to Super IUCR report, and if we're going to check Super IUCR report, you won't see any call that was transferred there that was disconnected. So that's something that we need to address for our agents.
Running call time 73.
There we go. So that's running hold time 73. So that's really huge, which is our target is just 25 seconds. Okay. So this is for all our reps who's doing that. So we have to correct that behavior. Pat, what are your thoughts about the calls?
with the policy itself, I mean, with the behaviors, I definitely agree with the three behaviors itself. In terms of asking clarifying questions, we can, there's a, yeah, it's more like of parroting regarding with the customer's concern. So probing questions would really be an opportunity for the agent in order for her to know what's the right tools to use. Second is majority of the time the representative acknowledge the customer in regarding with the concern itself. After placing the customer on hold, she tries to check the account, but after that, I can sense that she understood the concern. However, what's probably hindering her from navigating the tools itself? That's the main thing that I'm concerned of. What I mean was, what do I call this? Does the agent really know what she's doing, or does the agent really do understand the concern? So those were the two questions that I have in mind. Because if the agent was able to understand the concern and doesn't know what are the right tools to use, we have supports. So I believe the agent could definitely ask our supports and, hey, I need help from this, I don't know this, something like that. So there might be an opportunity in terms of will on asking support for the specific concern, which would certainly help the agent as well after she knew that. And then from there, that's the only time that she's gonna gain the confidence on helping the customer again, with the same issue. So that's the only thing that I'm concerned of.
Okay, thank you, Pat. How about you, Rika?
I would agree with the Brian with these first two behaviors because if the representative will not be able to understand on set of the call, she would say she's like pretending that she understands it, and then after that, if she was gonna look for the resolution, it will take time. That's where dead air. So it's really important for her to understand what's the concern, and then that will move her to be familiar with the utilization of the tools. I would suggest if she come to work early, something like that, she could have open TCOM and review more on the policies that we have. She could be more familiar, something like that. That's what I did on the previous representative that I had as well too, and she's working on it every day. I let her check updates and all of that so that she will be more familiar with the tools, and from there she could have move on to be confident enough in delivering resolution and all of that. That's all I can say.
Right, thank you. That's a good action plan and feedback. How about you, TMR?
Yeah, for me, I just want to verify though, because I'm not sure if it was mentioned by you, but I want to know what's her tenure. The agent.
Is she more than 180 or?
Tenure, yeah. She's a tenure
Okay.
because of the circumstance. We had to move her
Okay.
to DTAC.
All right.
So we were looking at almost 90 days. It's still a tenure.
Okay.
More than a year with T-Mobile? Not really.
No,
First
Okay.
time.
Okay, well,
November, December.
okay. So she came from a different account. Well, the reason why I asked is because, well, the trends that I've noticed on the call definitely were mostly her checking her tools in terms with the troubleshooting steps. The reason why I want to put into play the tenure is that if she's not really that long with T-Mobile, then most likely the clarifying questions would definitely come into play as well. To say it's obvious that she kind of assumed, or I'm not sure, we can't really know if she really did understand what the concern is, but though sometimes she restated or rephrased the concern of the customer, but then again, that doesn't guarantee that she really did understood what the concern is. So if she's, let's say, less than 90 days with T-Mobile, then most likely the most impacting behavior would be asking clarifying questions, because if she's on our level, probably a tenured rep, those calls of the customer, all four concerns were very straightforward. I'm sure all of us already identified what the concern is, but if we put her ourselves into her place, making her a newbie, then most likely we could safe to assume, unless we test or we ask her question, that she really didn't understand the concern. So I definitely agree with the first behavior, which is clarifying questions. Then the second one is the tools utilization. If she's tenured 180 and above, then most likely the tools utilization would be the most impacting and not the other one. But on her case, it's the clarifying question. As for the second one, correct me if I'm wrong, but based on my understanding, sounding confident is a symptom. So it's not that specific enough.
Right.
So the behavior would have been probably using power words or stuff, or the voice inflection. It did transpire though on the call we're in. It's about the I think the extension where the customer asked another question about wherein basically she used words like maybe, so that would definitely affect confidence. So that, but overall with the call, yeah, it's for me my most impacting behavior is the first behavior.
Which is, we are always targeting the most impactful behavior that's really targeting the performance, right? I totally agree with you, Mark, on that. So let's go back to the action plan that you, Brian did for the agent, because this is technically a follow-up coaching session that you will do for the agent, right, Brian? So what I want to know is that the action plan that you did for the agent, what are those again? Specifically for asking clarifying questions. So how did you, or what action plans did you do for the agent to work on that behavior?
Well, we just listed the, whenever you ask questions, it's just two type of questions.
Okay.
One is a question that you confirm if it's a yes or no,
Okay.
or if you wanna be more detailed, you gotta use the open-ended.
Okay.
Right. Now we action plan, but it looks like she's just applying the close-ended question, confirming right after she rephrased everything.
Yeah.
She would confirm it. Okay. So it looks like I will revisit her in terms
Right.
of focusing now on the open-ended.
Right.
Right.
Because basically, this is actually a very good session for us because we can share ideas on how we can improve the agent, right? It's basically, if we're gonna talk about the action plan, I would say that it didn't work for the agent. I'm not saying that it really didn't work, but the improvement that we're seeing is actually not, being exhibited right there and then. So I would recommend, if the issue or if the behavior of our agent is understanding of the issue by asking clarifying questions. So I think the best action plan that we can do is to have a one-on-one coaching with the agent wherein we can have her listen to snippets of calls, like customers just inquiring or telling their issue, and then you're gonna pause and play, and then you can ask the agent to ask the agent if what's the issue is of the customer and what's the next step that she's gonna do.
That's technically part of the call listening, the
Okay.
calls play stop, session. So we're gonna pick up random calls with her
Okay.
during coaching session, and then make a pause.
Right.
Let me know how you understand
Right.
the issue.
So and how many coaching sessions are you doing with the agent in a week?
In a week,
Yeah.
minimum would be a 2.
Okay, so I would recommend that we add more coaching sessions for this agent, because basically if that's the opportunity of the agent, coaching her once a week or twice a week won't work. So we need to really, drag this agent into coaching sessions, especially with this kind of behaviors, because it's really affecting the performance, right? We are not seeing the ownership with the agent, right? So that's something that we have to add. Coaching sessions more on pause and play and helping this agent understand, and checking if this agent understood the issue right after, what tools is she going to use.
Yep.
Right? Anything, guys, any action plans that you think would best work for the agent?
Yeah, if I can add, so regarding what you mentioned, basically since she's focusing on the gain clarifying understanding by asking the right questions or clarifying questions, I think it would be safe to know, because sometimes the rep tends to assume what the concern is. So with that behavior, I guess we want to know if she knows a difference between how to ask open-ended and closed-ended question. Good example is the call we're in, the payment extension. She asked a closed-ended question wherein she said, now, are you trying to extend your bill? Wherein she could have at least, because the customer initially mentioned that she's calling about her bill, obviously her payment, but she somehow asked a closed-ended question wherein somehow it kind of gave the customer an idea that, oh, I can do that, like I can extend my bill.
Right.
So that's something that she also want to avoid. So she, for her to really find out what the concern is, she really has to know the difference between asking closed-ended and open-ended questions. So if she knows that how to do that, then maybe that would help her with that behavior as well.
Right. So before you coach the agent, let's prepare first. And one thing that I want to know is that since this is the follow-up coaching for the agent, I want to know what's the root cause of that behavior when you coached the agent. Were you able to identify the root cause?
Well, when I coach the agent, it's really building her confidence about the performance.
Okay.
So it's a little up on the emotional thing because like I said, she's part of the care team.
Okay.
And she's on my red mark, and she felt like I really need to work on my performance, but otherwise the numbers are not showing up. So she's a little bit not really solid in terms of, hey, I want to go and take a notch in terms of really performing. So kind of working her in terms of, hey, you can do this. And eventually it did yield. Like I said, the IOCR, it may be 26, 32 right now. But like I said, the week one that we struggled with those 5 days, she ended with a 32, and her week 2 is 21.95, which is also part of our projection.
Right. So I'm concerned about that. So basically, this agent is being emotional because she was part of she's currently part of the care team, right?
She's okay with the care team.
Okay.
It's just she felt really bad on her. We know agents. You know, if you're not really performing, sometimes it's really hard to get that boost in terms of, you know, okay, I want to do this. I know I can. I have you on the back.
So when she started with you, what's her IUCR?
Like I said, she's on a 25 on January.
Okay.
And a good drop on 22.
Right. So with that improvement, so you were able to, you know, advise your agent that this is a good thing for you because you've improved, right? So do you think that being emotional is the real reason as to why this agent is not exhibiting those behaviors?
That's what I got during the course.
Right. So basically, that's an opportunity for everyone, right? For all of us. Before we can create a smart sale action plan, we really need to dig deeper as to what's causing this agent to not execute the right behavior. So you're not able to identify the root cause, then we won't succeed in our action plan, right? Because basically, we have to really process or do the process of elimination, right? So wherein there's a skill issue or will issue or knowledge, so let's do that.
Okay.
So with this agent, we need to really identify because my assumption is that this is part of a knowledge or skill issue, right? Because this agent most likely do not really know how to ask question, where to go to resolve the issue, so she really needs our assistance. So let's dig deeper as to what's causing this agent not to ask the right question. Is she having difficulty in terms of asking questions for this specific call scenario? So let's do that. We can also get the information by, you know, extracting reports from our supervisor report we're in. Let's identify from the supervisor report where this agent is having challenges resolving. Like, is it billing? Is it troubleshooting? Is it account changes? Because on the 4 calls that we've listened to, what can you guys notice? What's the call type that she's having challenges? Troubleshooting, right? Troubleshooting. So tendency of the agent is to just transfer the customer to technical support. So let's revisit that so that we can help improve this agent. So that's what we're gonna do moving forward for all the for all the coaching sessions that we'll do for our agents. So let's prepare. So Brian and Brian will be coaching this agent again for a follow-up coaching session. So we want to make sure that we're prepared. We set the right expectation to the agent. So how's the coaching session will go so far? what are you planning to address to Pamela today?
The agent is a filler.
Okay.
And we got how many heads in the room?
She's already, we've already set expectation to her, so,
okay.
and also I will set expectation to her so that she'll not get intimidated by this. And after the coaching session, so we'll let go of her and then we'll discuss again.
Okay.
Okay. So it's gonna be a follow-up coaching session for you. Okay. So are we going to dig deeper as to what's the root cause is, or what? How would you present it?
I want to know the root cause. I'll
Okay.
check with her right now
Okay.
in terms of why.
Okay.
And I want to go with Mark if she really know how to
Okay.
gets the buy-in in terms of is it an open? Does this situation needs a close-ended question? Or do you need to be deeper?
Right. Okay. All right. So I think we're prepared. So let's listen to the coaching session. This will be very helpful for everyone. Morning, Pamela.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, Pamela. I know that TM Daryl already. You can have a seat here.
Yeah.
I know that TM Daryl already talked to you, right?
I was informed, but not today.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay, so sorry. Before we start, let me set expectation to you, Pamela. So this is one of our action plan for all the TMs that we have right now. So we have a weekly call calibration wherein we'll listen to calls of our agents like you, and then afterwards we will be calibrating and we will be coaching.
Okay.
So basically, this session is intended for the supervisors because we want to make sure that all of our supervisors are equipped in terms of coaching, that everyone knows how to identify the most impactful behavior affecting our performances. So don't get intimidated during this coaching session.
I'm sure.
We will be listening to Brian's coaching, not the way you answer or whatever. So
Okay.
then don't be afraid of this. So this is just a normal coaching session.
Oh, it's intended for the
For the
TMs.
supervisors,
Okay.
not to them. And then,
That's good.
yeah, after this coaching session, so we'll let go of you and then we'll discuss the coaching session that happened.
Okay.
Okay?
No problem.
Is it okay for you?
Yes.
Okay, very
Do
good.
I have
All right.
to-
Thank you.
Alright, so let's start. Hi, Pamela.
Yes.
Alright, let's cut the chase. This is a follow-up in terms of, about a behavior we're currently working on you. About that, gaining clear understanding through clarifying questions. So, kind of listen to calls that you did just last 24 hours up to the present. Yeah, we still kind of identify some challenges in terms of you really asking those questions to gain that good understanding of the situation. So, I want to bring the floor to you and let me know what are your thoughts. So, why are you having challenges still?
Challenges with regards to my stats or
The way you
way.
handle the calls, that you're having difficulties of gaining a clear understanding of the issue through clarifying questions. Remember, you have calls where customers cite some situation with you, and then you somehow have challenges of really getting what the situation is. And remember action plan whenever you have to ask question, right? You know what those type of questions that you gotta lay with your customer. So a follow up. I mean.